Budz, welcome to episode 7 of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play series. Now, in last episode, we made these 4 sorting systems, which, honestly, I've really been liking them. I'm not a, what's it called? I'm not really a collected person when it comes to organization. So things like this, where everything's kind of scattered about and I have to look a little bit, are really helpful to me. Also, I wanted to say that I'm actually experimenting with what shader packs I use in videos. Right now, I'm using Builder's QOL, which is quality of life. And this is actually one of my favorite resource packs. Look at this! Look at that bad boy! Where did he come from? Nobody knows. I took the liberty of going through and creating this wonderful bridge off camera. I'm going to do that a little bit more. I'm going to be building a little bit more off camera, and then showing you guys the end result. But I honestly think that this is one of the better builds that I have done. I tried to incorporate the smooth stone, the andesite, is that andesite? Yeah, I believe so. I used a whole bunch of things, and I'm actually really satisfied with how it turned out. Because it's just so freaking cool. Let me go show you guys when you walk on top of it. It's so nice. And I honestly, I love it. It took me about 40 minutes to make this. But it is just so satisfying to walk on. Also, the water is pitch black right now because I believe it is raining. The water actually updates with the weather and nighttime and daytime, which is something I really like about this. It looks... I didn't like this at first because it looked really weird, but then I'm like... Oh... Okay, it definitely is raining. I didn't like this at first because I thought it looked too dark and edgy, and then I was like, I am literally Batman, okay? I can be dark and edgy in this. This is my Batcave. Swiftly moving forward, however, though, I have new plans for today's video. Today's a bit more of a building and a redstone type of episode. So, about last video, or maybe on episode 5, I actually said that I wanted to move the Nether portal somewhere, and I was like, what better spot then right here. So I went and I took the liberty, deep slate. I have some of the blackstone here, and I've started already kind of making this type of design that I wanted. And as you can see, we are very close to the sorting system, and that is intentional, guys. I actually had a plan for this one. I want for our cobble area, which begins about right here. Yes, I want for this area to actually be able to put items, specifically cobblestone, out this way also. Because if you're going into the Nether, chances are you're going to need a lot of cobblestone. So I'm going to quickly mine this place out, and then we'll get to work with actually decorating it, which is my favorite part, honestly. I really love decorating and building like that. This is the wonderful Nether fortress area. So let's add in one more layer of chests here. And remember, folks, we can always add in more. And that is going to be... How many double chests is that? That is 8 double chests, which is really good for us. That means it is 8 more chests of storage systems. So if I believe that if I go over here and I throw in some stuff... Let me just throw in some stuff I don't really need right now, like... Let me throw in this dirt, 64 cobble, and 20 cobblestone. And I don't actually know. Oh, there it is. So this is going to be the backup channel, in a way. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of stuff in here. And it is equally distributing the blocks that I have just put in. So there's going to be some in here. There's going to be some over there. So not only does it save me a little trip to run around to the other side, but we'll also be getting a lot of passive blocks in this room, which is exactly what I wanted, honestly. So now that we've got all that done, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and build this because I am so excited. So here is the finished product. Well, not the finished. I actually had another idea for this, which was to grab that there villager head or wandering trader or whatever and put it on one of these chains. And I'm like, that would be so cool. But I think honestly that a skeleton head would make this place come together. So there's little details that I'll be adding probably over the next couple of episodes to little places, like over in this sheep farm, actually, which I have making black wool, in these couple chests here. I actually added a lot more stuff after I was done building. Like, I added in these leaves, the sugarcane, the moss, the hay, all of this stuff, the lichen. So, I've added some stuff off camera. Hello, sir? He's just casually walking around. Okay, I guess he lives here now. We're gonna be making our portal now, which I have been looking forward to so much these last couple of days. Because I've actually been planning out some stuff, which you never really hear me say. I don't typically plan most of my videos, which is also another reason why I'm doing videos a little bit differently. Now, I'm actually going to be thinking about what I'm doing before I actually get to building it, so. But here, we have this, like, awkward line of normal blocks. I guess I didn't think that through, but whatever, it's fine. Okay, boom. I really like this, this fire, too. It looks a little bit out of place right now, but I definitely want something, making this area look alive in a way. And, let's make this back wall something also. We don't just want everywhere to look really cool and then the back wall to be nothing. So I guess this isn't the final. I said, hey guys, look, it's the final thing. No, actually, it's really far from it. I've had to change it like 4 times already. So this is kind of just how I've been about building. Now, I know I said at the beginning of this, Let's Play series that I wanted to get better at building, and I still do. I think I'm actually coming into my own as a builder, because some things I'm actually just getting the hang of a lot quicker. Like, balancing colors and stuff, or at least I think, I don't know, you guys can let me know in the comments. I think I'm getting better, that's all that matters. So now, for the moment of truth, la-boom! See how that looks. Oh my god, it's everything I've ever wanted in the Nether portal. Look at how mesmerizingly cool that looks. Okay, time to break this. Goodbye, Nether portal number 1. So here is the moment of truth, everyone. We're gonna go under our bridge here. Let me go on F1. We're gonna go under our bridge, and then we are going to just... How does this look if we just pass it by? Now, granted, that stuff's not gonna be there, but that looks like a proper dungeon, in a way. Not with the blocks that are just standing here. I'll probably make it come out some and look kind of corrupted or whatever. I'm not gonna... Well, I can do that now, actually. Okay, you know what? I actually didn't think that was gonna make too much of a difference, but oh my god, that looks so much better. Just imagine how good it's gonna look without this crap here. But I'm actually not gonna move that. You know, I just said I wasn't gonna do this, I wasn't gonna do that, and then I actually just did it anyways. No, I'm not gonna do this right now because I have other plans, and plan number 1 is to gather up some redstone. So, gather up some more redstone we shall. I actually decided to stream me collecting a bunch of mining resources live on Twitch. So, you know, as usual, please go follow us on twitch.tv/VillagerBudz. And we also now have another YouTube channel, which is VillagerBudz VODs, where if you miss a stream, if you want to have something to listen to while you're gaming, or you just want to hear me talking like an idiot, I started to upload the VODs there in about August, so I don't have every VOD ever. But I'm happy to say that now we actually have them, so make sure to go check that out. We actually had a lot of fun, and we started on something that I'm going to be sharing in next episode. So make sure if you want to see the behind the scenes of videos to follow on the Twitch, because I play on this world a lot on there. So it's a few days after we gather up those what am I saying? It's a few days after we gathered up those materials, and I have already made a whole bunch of things. So you might already be able to notice with the name tags of zombie, with the rail system, the hopper clock materials, we're gonna be making an Iron Golem farm. Now you might be like, but Elephant, we already made one. Why are you gonna make another one and show us it? Well, this Iron Golem farm is a slight bit different. What I've actually done is I've taken the idea of the Iron Golem farms and I've actually gone through several different prototypes, and I've even done some math, folks. So for those of you who are not familiar with our 1.16 series, this is our original Iron Golem farm. It's got 1 zombie, 4 villagers, and a lot of running water. A lot of running water. A lot of Iron Golems get stuck constantly, and overall it's just not that good in my opinion. So, as you can tell by the many things in the sky up here, I've been doing some working, some experimenting, and I've come up with this design. Now, this design is basically the exact same thing as down there, except this one is a lot smaller. The waterways are a lot more compact. As you can see here, there's only 5 blocks of water instead of all those. The Iron Golem goes, he aggroes onto the zombie, and then proceeds to die a horrible death. Oh my god. Proceeds to die a horrible death in the lava. Now this has been giving me a lot of stuff. This gives me 1 Iron Golem every 42 or 43 seconds, and I will put on screen. I sat here for about 5 minutes, and then I times that by 60 to try to figure out how much an hour this would give me. And I believe it was about 6 or 5 stacks. And I don't know about you guys, but this is good, especially if I can make multiple of these. Could you imagine we have like, oh yeah, AFK for 1 hour, you'll have 10,000 stacks when you return. But yeah, if you guys also want to see a video on those, because those are a little bit more complicated than this, and, you know, my other prototypes over there, please do let me know, because I was actually thinking about making a video, just going into depth, kind of, going into detail on how all of those work, and, you know, maybe even getting some feedback from some of you guys who are actually good at redstone on how I can improve them. But this is kind of what we're working with here. You might be like, elephant, are you gonna put this in the Batcave? You're gonna fill up everything there, you're gonna lag so much in the Batcave. Well, no, folks. I actually have a brilliant idea as to where to put this. If you guessed that it would be at our secret private location, I guess, resort village of sorts, then you would be absolutely 100% correct. It's far enough away from my base so that if I want to go into peaceful mode like I am right now, then I can, and none of the mobs will be killed. Because remember, guys, I need 2 zombies, so what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to get to work because I haven't actually touched up this village. Hello, sir. I haven't touched up this village at all, so I'm going to kind of make a little villager breeder here because, you know, I want to have multiple farms. And then I will begin to build, probably in the sky, our actual Iron Golem farms. So let me get to work on that. So I started to get to work on the villager breeder. It doesn't look the nicest, but I figured, hey, this is going to be our most industrial area yet. The Batcave is supposed to look nice. We don't really come out here enough to make me actually want to make this place look nice. Maybe eventually I'll make the villager breeder look better. The reason why I made the villager breeder is because in total, we only had 6 villagers on this island, and 2 of them were nitwits, which I may or may not have murdered. By the time I got all of the villagers up into their designated spot in the Iron Golem farm, we actually have 2 villagers in the breeder still, so if I want to, I can permanently get as many villagers as I want and never have an issue. I left my computer on after I was done building for about 2 hours. And no, all of the iron that are sitting on the hoppers in this replay, they were not despawned. For some reason, the replay just doesn't want them to be in the hoppers. But don't worry, they're all safe and stored away in my chest, which I actually got a really, really decent amount for the time that I put in. Okay, everyone, and here we are kind of in the first person of our Iron Golem farm. I'm actually very proud of this. This looks nice, and you'll see them aggro and kind of run at the zombie and then die, yes. So this was working just fine, even without that zombie there. But I figured, you know, I said I would add a zombie, I had a plan to add it, I've seen how good it is. And yeah, I did the math, we have about 12 stacks, let me go show you. It's the exact same screenshot that I just put up on the screen during the replay. But yeah, it's working out pretty good. I think the replay itself was 1 hour and 38 minutes. And I had been on a little bit more, but let's take our mine part down, and I can show you guys the villager breeder. And now, the reason why, like I said, to keep the villager breeder, with a few villagers in it, is just to make it a little bit easier on myself if I want to make some more farms. So here we have the farmer villager, we got this Chad, and yeah, they just live here. See, and I can be a villager just like them if I really wanted to, but I feel like I would be going against some type of code here at VillagerBudz, like hello? Like impersonating a villager. But I think honestly that the fish fits me even more. Blah, blah. I love those head things, they're so cool. Also, as you guys can probably hear, I have now found a cat. Hello, Mr. Cat. I don't actually know what I want to name the cat. I haven't named the cat yet. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Whoever comments a good name, I shall name my cat whatever name it is, or if we all agree on something or whatever. But honestly, this is pretty cool. I'm really excited about this. It's very awesome, very chill, while I'm recording this video, I've actually recorded footage on about, like, 5 different days, so I'm trying to make it a little bit easier on myself. As you can probably tell in my, my voice, I am a little bit under the weather. My siblings got me a little bit sick, which is never, never, ever fun, especially with the current things going on in the world now. So I think that it'll just be a little bit of a shorter episode, for this week, but I hope to see you guys in episode 8, where we are going to be doing something equally as fun as today's video. So, remember, buds, join the village today. It's only a click away.